Well, welcome everybody to Cavalier Insider, Whitey 365. I'm Whitey Reed with Jerry Ratcliffe and Boots. Let's talk about these first two basketball games that we've had. South Carolina State and Winthrop. Not the greatest competition in the world, but I think we learned a few things about the Virginia basketball team.
Yeah, I think so. South Carolina State was not very good. Let's just be frank about it. Winthrop was a little better, higher competition, and I think the thing that strikes me the most about that was last night at crunch time when it was tied at 44 all, about 10 minutes to go, and Tony Bennett's talking to his team in the huddle, and he says, "This is really where we want to be, guys. We're going to face moments like this the rest of the season. We got to fight our way out of it. Let's go out and get it done." I thought that was a really good moment for that basketball team because it looked like this team or that game could have gone down to the wire, and it's one of those early upsets, early season upsets that teams try to avoid. But they did a great job of just taking command of the game at that point and outscored them 26-4, and looked really tough down the stretch. Sometimes without Mike Scott, and certainly without Sedgwinsky, who wasn't even in the game.
And yeah, now you mentioned that. Obviously, John Tell Evans, he's looked real impressive to me in these first two game boots. I know, like we said, you can't put too much stock because of the caliber of competition here. But John Tell, to me, everybody gets on him for his shot and everything. But I thought one of the things in his first 2 years that he really needed to work on was his finishing around the basket. He's super quick. We know he's athletic. He can get into the lane. But his freshman and sophomore years, he just wasn't finishing at the rim with layups. He was just kind of missing or turning the ball over. Through these first two games, he just seems more confident. He's finishing. He's converting the layups. And the 5 of 5 from the free throw line last night, too. He was a 58 or 57% shooter from the free throw line. That's certainly a great sign of progress, as were the three-pointers he hit. He hit 2 3-pointers last year, which was actually a career high. I think he hit only 5 all of last year. So I think maybe the Sammy injury may be a little bit of a blessing in disguise because it gets John Tell kind of kick-started a little bit.
I think so, and I know that kid really worked hard on his complete game in the offseason. He was talking about he knew he had to step it up to be an ACC caliber guard, and he put so much work in, and it's starting to show. We already knew he was a bulldog on defense, but the offensive explosion he's shown us has been amazing to me. 17 points was way beyond his career high, I think, last night. And, he's given them some real quality time so far.
The only thing that concerns me a little bit from what I've seen is, and Tony touched on this last night, was you got to get more post touches. You got to get into the paint, make that defense pinch. Because, when Joe Harris and KT Harrell aren't, hitting their shots, it can be kind of ugly, and Virginia gets too perimeter-oriented. I think they've really got to make a concerted effort in these games coming up down in the Virgin Islands to get the ball inside more and go inside, outside, not the other way around.
I agree. Mike Scott is obviously the go-to guy. He should touch the ball almost every possession, even if he can't score. He should at least get a touch. And because he's going to do good things with the basketball. I thought Hassan Sen last night made an NBA-like move down on the baseline at one time and nearly made another. So I think his game is starting to come along a little bit, and he's not going to score a lot of points, but if he can give you 6 8 points a game down low to go along with Scott, I think that's enough to make teams respect that and slack off the perimeter a little bit. And I think they really need Zeglinski back because I think they need another perimeter shooter they can count on when Harris or KT is off or whoever's off. You got one extra guy that you can go to for some points.
Now let's talk Paradise Jam Hoots, the Virgin Islands. I know you wish you could be coming with me.
I wish I could, but I'll be in Tallahassee.
We still have our Puerto Rico memories from the 2006-07 season, drinking the drinks out of the coconuts on the sidelines there, much to Rich Murray, the Virginia Media Relations Director's chagrin. I remember him walking right past us and just
He did a double
shaking.
take, yeah, and shook his head.
Hey, I mean, if you go to an arena and they sell the things, I mean, just my opinion is you gotta embark, you gotta try new things when you're out on a sojourn like
Yeah,
that.
you got to live the experience while you're there. That is paradise after all, so you got to take advantage of it.
Well, we're gonna miss you in the Virgin Islands, but let's talk a little bit about that and the field. Some people are thinking it's kind of unknown how good the field is or isn't really. You've got Virginia taking on TCU in that first game, and then if the draw holds true, they would play Drexel and then possibly Marquette in the championship game. Certainly those games could be great for RPI and stuff like that down the road. But now let's take the pessimistic approach here. If things don't break right, I mean, heck, the RPI could really take a beating here.
That's true.
You got like Winthrop, who they could play again if things worked out just right, and you got some other schools that just Norfolk State and and Drake. Although Drake did beat Iowa State, I noticed the other night, so maybe Drake is okay. But I know you were a little skeptical about their strength of schedule to start the season.
That's been one of the criticisms of the team, and expecting to be an NCAA tournament team. A lot of that depends on your RPI, strength of schedule, and it used to be just playing in the ACC would get you in, but not so much anymore. I don't think if your non-conference schedule is considered soft by the committee, and some of these teams are playing, the committee won't even look at, like South Carolina State. They won't even consider that a game. So yeah, they've got to make hay when they can against the stronger teams on their schedule, and if they don't win those games, it's going to maybe haunt them come tournament time, unless they can find a way to finish fourth in the ACC. I think that would make up for that, but there's no guarantees, and so they need to win these games when they can.
Well, we're going to miss you down in the Virgin Islands. And,
have a Mai Tai for me.
I might have to do that. And be sure, everybody out there, to stay tuned throughout the weekend. I'll have video and blogs and the whole works down from the U.S. Virgin Islands. St. Thomas, Virginia playing TCU kicks it off on Friday. Thanks for joining us, everybody.